What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What are my rights? What are my rights?
What are my rights?
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal Morse of action.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Legal Morse of Action. This is Patricio, and as always, I'm joined by attorney Erin Morse.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
This
day.
It's been quiet.
It's been quiet. We're having also a staff meeting right now.
I know the entire day has been a staff meeting.
So, yeah, that's been pretty interesting. Kind of more an administrative day.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very brief hearing that it was a case management, so a total non-issue.
I was going to ask, like, how did that hearing go for you?
There was nothing to happen.
Nothing to happen.
No. It was just like a checking in with you from the judge.
How many times do you feel like on a regular basis that some hearings are literally just a waste of time? In a respective manner.
A decent amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah. I have probably like 20% of the hearings. I'm like, this didn't need to happen. So, yeah.
There are certain conversations that come in on a daily, questions that come in on a daily that it's like, you could have Googled that, look at the previous email. I just,
okay.
I'm sorry. There are times I'm airing my grievances right now. There are times where like, you know this answer. She's already told you, but it's like, you want someone to hold your hand again.
Yeah. These are non-client questions.
Yeah.
That I know you're referring to.
Yeah.
Not people who are doing business with us, but people who, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the world is like that, right?
Some people just don't want to do their due diligence. They want the answer, like, just give it to me.
You could Google that.
Mm-hmm. Like earlier today, I had someone ask me, hey, how do you become a notary? And I look at her, I'm like, really? If there was only a machine where you could just
ask questions to,
or a device that say her name out loud and she'll grant you your answer to your question.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm pissed. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What has been the toughest part of your week this week, Erin?
I must have had a tough week because I can't remember any of it. A lot of times we have one case in particular that while I really love our client, I just find that he doesn't listen or behave, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do what he's supposed to do. So then he wants to take a more aggressive action. And I'm like, you can't succeed at that. Although you might have, had you not destroyed your own case.
Yeah.
Right. Has a really good case, really shouldn't be in the position that they're in. And then they kind of make it worse. It's like, I have a lot of burns, but then I walked back into the stove.
Yeah.
Right. Like then I walked back into the, burning fire.
And while my head is in the oven, I'm slowly raising the heat myself.
Right. I'm really mad that someone pushed me into the stove, but then I turned up the heat.
Help me, stepbrother. I'm stuck in the oven.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
This ain't chaos.
Respectable podcast. My apologies, folks. It's Friday. What you got going on for this weekend, Erin?
I don't know. I always have to do something. I don't know. I don't have anything on the calendar. So if it's not on the calendar, it's not real. Okay.
So you're going to have like a chill, relaxed weekend, right?
No, I have kids.
Fair. This week, I got a lot of calls about some family issues.
Did you take a lot of calls this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Oh, it's been a really busy week.
It has, and I don't give enough credit where credit is due in regards to reception. Like, they handle everything in regards to, the calls that are coming
Oh,
in.
I had a confrontation with an opposing party.
Oh, that was interesting, and I'm surprised that.
I told her to get out of my office twice.
Yeah.
You're gonna do this and leave.
And then when I was finishing up with her, she's like, she was so rude. Like, well, you started it.
You started it.
I'm sorry, breaking it down.
I'm not here to be nice to you.
No.
First of all, to nobody, right? That isn't my job. I wasn't hired to be nice.
Especially the boyfriend to opposing party. Like that, yeah.
And the problem is that they're not following the court order.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which is in black and white, clear as crystal.
She agreed.
Yeah. But
so I don't care. You're not following the court order, and this is the consequences of your own actions.
Mm-hmm.
The court order was made clear to you by the judge.
I will admit I got a little petty, like, hey, we'll see you in court next week. I'm like, actually, I won't. It's going to be her who's going to see you.
That's what I told her. I'm like, there's a reason you have to go to court on this because you're not following the court order. So now that you have a problem for not following the court order is your problem.
I feel like there are times where people are so in their head, like they make their own reality. And like, this is why they're not wrong. This is why, apparently the judge said it like this when the judge never said it like that.
She actually doesn't even disagree. She just decided she's going to do her own thing.
Yeah.
Which is contempt.
Like, you can't tell me what to do.
I won't. The judge will.
The judge will.
I won't. I haven't told you anything.
Mm-hmm. But no, not listening to instructions, not following instructions, and then taking the instructions that were given to you. It's like, I need you to hammer this nail with this hammer, and you crash the car into the garage.
Yeah. Instructions unclear.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
Never told you to get in the car. Never told you.
It's all right.
Ugh.
It's all right.
Okay.
By the way, you'll be paying my attorney's fees.
I know. I love it.
We'll increase those as well.
The petty part of it that I love. And I'm like,
that's actually what she's going to have to pay off.
Yeah. You're adding to it.
I told her that too.
They're slowly turning on the raising the heat in the oven.
Uh-huh.
But okay, see you in court. Love it.
Yep.
We just finalized our divorce last month. However, my husband failed to disclose a loan he took out in both our names. I was unaware of this loan. What can happen, or what can I do?
Well, you should have checked your credit before you dealt with the divorce. That was kind of your obligation because the attorney, if you had one, doesn't know everything that you have. And if you didn't have an attorney, that's another mistake on your part. So what you need to do at this time is you can have a civil case about it. Good luck.
Now, would the civil case affect the family case in any way?
No, the family case is over. Equitable distribution is closed.
Would it be worth it to reopen the?
You can't.
You can't.
So no.
So modificate, nothing in regards to modification.
Not on equitable distribution. You cannot modify equitable distribution.
Oh damn! I learned something today. That sucks. Sorry.
This is why you get a lawyer. You get a lawyer the first time and don't hope you correct it later.
Erin, I want to talk to you about a hypothetical that happened to me the other day.
Oh God. I'm just kidding.
Thanks. No, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I got a message. It was a meme that said, "Don't let a $7 sundress turn into $70,000 in child support next summer."
God, yeah, it's much more than $70,000.
Yeah, I found it funny.
Mm-hmm.
Showed it to a buddy of mine. He was laughing his butt off.
Yeah.
But then my female friend saw it, and she laughed too.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. Okay, cool. Whatever.
Yeah, sure. It's a joke.
Yeah, fast forward. But could that person take full custody of that kid?
What person?
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, if the person who ended up with the sundress, would they have to pay child support, or what would happen at that point?
That's an insufficient amount of information for me to answer the question.
Exactly. Well,
could they take full custody? No. Okay, that's your answer.
Yeah, and the thing was, they were getting upset that I couldn't answer the question. I'm like, first of all, I'm not an attorney.
So just say no. No.
And two, Erin would kick my ass if I were to call to ask this question about a stupid meme.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. And
You couldn't. That's what you should say.
yeah, I
Well,
could.
you couldn't. Whenever people do this to me, like out at a bar, and they're like, well, you know, what would happen if this and that? And I'm like, well, if it's you, you'll definitely lose in court. That's always my answer. Because it's silly, right? You have a very silly question. It's not based on real facts. So I can't give you a real answer.
Yeah.
So in general, if a person asked me that question, I was like, if it were you, you'd lose custody. Florida doesn't even have custody. We have shared parental responsibility. So have a nice day and keep your sundresses on.
Boom. All right. Next one coming up. I just had my injunction dismissed, but my ex-boyfriend is starting to act a fool again. I love how they phrased it. Am I able to file another one if I am in fear for my life?
Yep.
So just because one gets this, if they dismiss it, it's okay to file again.
Yeah.
Would there be any instances in which
Nope.
parties could not file again?
Nope. It's just like you always have available to you to call 911, even if you called last time and lied. So a lot of times I'll have people come to me and ask, they filed this injunction and the injunction was false and it got dismissed or it got denied. What can I do to make sure she's not going to do this again in the future? I'm like, nothing.
Cut ties. Stop seeing her.
Oh yeah. Don't both be in my parking lot and then you get out of your car to go speak with them at their window when you're claiming you want to get away from them. You're literally at your own attorney's office.
Oh my God. That one's going to haunt me for days. But I'm glad it's over.
We'll forget about it in time.
Yeah, well, but we'll
move on to
We'll move on
to new crazy cases.
We've had some pretty crazy confrontations, in office.
I don't know. It's me. It's probably me. It's my fault.
You're the villain. You're the problem.
Am I the villain? Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
What happens when support is terminated, but co-parent wants it again? This is dead air.
I wanted to make this awkward. Okay. Support is terminated. That is the end of the sentence. There's no more to it. Have a nice day.
So does this relate back to like financials that
it does? If the child's an adult, if support is terminated, support is terminated.
So
there are no more facts here.
Nothing.
So you want to assume more facts? We're not doing that today.
Okay.
Everybody hates that person in college. And if you're that person in college and in law school, stop being that person. But what if a spaceship landed and there was always those people in college that would come up with these crazy hypotheticals to try to like ask it a different way, to be like, but it was, maybe it was terminated, but like then the child needed like maybe something more. So yeah, no,
not today. Not today.
No.
Sorry about that. All right, let's go into the next one. Oh, I already know the answer to this one, but you're the attorney. Does a grandmother have the right to get a court-ordered paternity test?
No.
People get themselves in crazy situations. I don't know if it's because of love or stupidity.
Sometimes grandparents want to have control that they're not entitled to.
Why do you feel that is? You're always like a great one of breaking stuff down for me.
It's the same parent that likely was controlling over the child.
What up, Mercer?
Yeah. It's that same parent, right? So because they think they have an ownership of their child, the grandchildren that come from that child, they think they have some power or ownership from too. There's been a few times where a consultation will be scheduled and then the grandmother will get on the phone and be like, oh, it's for my son and his child. And I'm like, he needs to be on the call.
Yeah.
I don't represent you. You can't enter into an agreement. He needs to. So
yeah. From taking multiple consultations these past few weeks, like now mind you, That was my first role when I came into legal. I was a receptionist for 3 months. I was the face, I was the voice, I was, front line of defense. And it took me back to a simpler time where I could hear when the moment they opened their mouth, and like within the first maybe 10, 15 words, I'm like, nope, 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 nope. But
yeah, or maybe they don't actually have a case, or they're frustrated about a situation, because not every wrong has a remedy.
correct.
So just because something happened that's bad, or something exists that's really bad, that isn't ideal or isn't, good or great in your life and in your marriage and during your divorce, doesn't mean I have a remedy for it. Now, I try really hard to come up with some good creative solutions to things, but not everything is something I can cure.
Mhm.
So that's a tough one for me sometimes, that I'm like, that doesn't have a solution, because I really try to be very solution oriented and make sure that I'm helping my clients in the best way that I can.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the question. I am going to put this question up, and I'm going to run to the printer because I do have one that we got from a different source. And it's a long question, but I'm going to put this one up real quick. Will I need to pay alimony to my ex if she just got sentenced to 2 years in prison? Have at it. I'll be right back.
That's why I don't wear them. So I've never come across this. My instinct is to say yes, because typically the ways that you are relieved from alimony are a modification if you have modifiable alimony, or if you have the recipient of alimony is in a supportive relationship. They get married, they move in with their significant other, or something along those lines. So the fact that they went to prison, maybe you could file a petition for modification. I think that would be a substantial change in circumstances, and the financial needs of the recipient of alimony is definitely altered by being in prison. But there's a chance that it won't be completely removed, but you probably could file a modification. That's if your alimony is modifiable. But if you have permanent alimony, once they get out of prison, they could modify to increase it again.
Ugh.
You're filling up that commissary.
You marry straight to jail.
You divorce straight to jail.
You don't pay child support. We can go on and on these. Okay, so apparently the question that I was going to read to you is actually a thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. And but then it goes into a longer story, and with combat. I'm going to put that on your side. I'm going to kill some air on my part. Because you are a faster reader and you are a faster person on getting stuff. But here, let me talk to you folks real quick. Over the next few weeks, Erin and I are going to be introducing what's called the breakdown. And what that is these shows are going to be all linked together, meaning it's going to be a part 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a multiple part series where we talk to you about the complexities of whether it's divorce, whether it's understanding your financials, modification on child support, things like that. We're going to go into more in-depth questions and more of details of what you have to do as an individual who may be going through a family struggle or doesn't know what to do or how to even approach it. At least what Erin and I, well, basically Erin, I'm just going to want to turn on the mic for her. Erin is going to break it down for you. All right. So if you have any questions or any suggestions on how you want this, let us know, because we're working on this, and we're going to be releasing the breakdowns come the first week of October. And Erin just looks puzzled, and I'm going to put her back on screen.
So this is a complex one, and there's more questions than there are answers. So we're going to go through it.
Okay.
Thank you for answering my question. My case was closed. My daughter was placed with him because I had gotten into trouble with her real father. He lived in Illinois. She's not his child at the time. I don't know if you could change that biology. But okay, I'm going to gloss over that part. I didn't know what I was looking at as jail time. He filed for divorce and was granted what he was asking for. I was never served and was in jail because my case was still going on at the time he filed. So I'm not sure if we're asking a divorce question or a custody question. Let's keep going. Now, what I thought was a good placement for her was not so good. He moved back her to Florida. She moved her back to Florida. When the lady he was living had passed away, he is not right mentally in the head as to his age, might be 49. But his mentality isn't on that level. When I got out of jail, I have to do a lot of deciphering grammatically on this, and I'm trying to be kind. I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. Calling his phone number to see how she was doing, but it was changed. My sister told me that I was divorced, and he made it look like I was a missing spouse. So the state of Illinois said he took my rights away and allowed him and his new wife at the time adopted her. I have made mistakes in my life. And he's punishing my daughter for my mistakes. Autistic, and I was not sure she was going to remember me. I was wrong. She still does. He told her right in front of me that I'm not her mother and that I was dead, and spanked her for wanting to come see me. I understand about the law about the child being born into the marriage, but when you're separated from that person, lives in a different state, nor have seen her. My case plan was started. There's nothing anyone can do to keep that person out of. That's how my husband at the time got my daughter. I did DNA, but they wouldn't expect anything that I was doing, get him out of the state of Illinois. I did not recognize him as a father. That's why he had to adopt her. His mother that he lives with calls her a little bee. Every time she asks to see me, can you please tell if there's anyone that could help me, please? So
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So first of all, it sounds like you got divorced by publication or whatever Illinois' equivalent to that is, right? So that is what happened there, right? So you're divorced, and I don't know if you can undo that. I don't think you'll have good cause for that. However, the fact that the child was adopted, it sounds like there's a couple of issues here. You had a child during your marriage that was not biologically your husband's, but a child born during the term of the marriage is legally the child of your husband and wife. So he had legal rights to her. It sounds like the fact that you weren't there or were unavailable for a period of time was the basis for which they claimed maybe abandonment or whatever Illinois says. So ultimately, it seems as though Illinois had jurisdiction over the child, and wherever the last custody determination was made has jurisdiction over the child. Now, you could move that jurisdiction and file a new case if you had good cause. It doesn't sound to me like you have good cause. Also, again, this is under Florida law. This adoption happened in Illinois, so I don't have an answer for you in Illinois. So I can't do that for you. But in Florida, if a child is adopted, that is permanent and irreversible. So, someone would have to review your docket in Illinois and perhaps see if there's anything or any way to undo those court orders. So I would direct you to find counsel in Illinois to have a look at what happened in those cases and see if there's any way for you to go back and undo this, if any of your rights could be restored through that process. Florida cannot undo another state's court orders under these circumstances.
I have a really silly question. Why is that?
Why is what?
Why is it that other states can't do, things that other states had already put into place?
I mean, it wouldn't make sense for another state to have more power than, why would Florida have more power than Illinois?
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Hence the Electoral College.
Yeah, well, no.
I know that's a swerve. I'm sorry.
Yes, but our states just don't.
It doesn't work like that.
Right. Florida is not more powerful than Illinois, and they won't undo those court orders. So, it's an unfortunate reality. And, here's a sad reality that many courts would identify. You having been in jail is something you did, right? That is how courts will interpret that it was your actions that caused you to be in jail. If right now you're not here, but I can imagine whenever I say that to somebody, that they have an immediate response to it, right? It's not my fault, whatever reason that you're going to come up with.
I'm sorry. I hear that so many times.
Right. But the court really looks at it like, you went through our legal system, you were adjudicated guilty or agreed to it, and you went to jail. All of those things are your own doing. You being in jail is because of you. You being in jail is not the fault of the state. It's not the fault of the prosecutor. Any of those number of things. And if they are, you got to go through our legal system to undo them. Am I saying that our legal system is perfect? No, plenty of people are very often, having convictions overturned, but it doesn't sound like you had a murder conviction. So overturning this or the Innocence Project probably isn't coming for you. Because it sounds like you're out, you're sending me messages.
You have the internet, you're good to go.
So, what you really need to, what you really need to work on, unfortunately, is there's some personal responsibility, right? And that's how the court would expect you to interpret what's happened, is that you landing in prison, in jail, was a result of your own actions. Thank you.
So stay out of jail. Next question. My brother married for money in 2010. He is a citizen. Wait, I think we talked. Yeah, we did. We addressed this one last time.
I think so.
Yeah, my apologies.
Don't marry for money because no one cares.
You're
not going to go to court and be like, well, I married for money, so you give me more. Or
how do I get alimony and a fair settlement if I get paid in cash by my job?
How do you receive alimony?
Yeah, how do I get alimony?
I mean, you hire a lawyer, but the fact that you're paid cash at your job has a lot of other problems for you.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's not legal.
What are you doing? Yeah, what you doing that they're paying you in cash?
It's not legal. It's going to come back to bite you because the defense of alimony is going to, I think, have an effect on this. I think that's what's going to be problematic, is defending alimony will be something they're going to impute your income if they have any skill or desire to do so. So,
yeah,
you have to hire a lawyer. It sounds like your finances are kind of messy, and you're going to need to prove need and ability.
And fortunately enough, you've tuned into a podcast brought to you by the Law Office of Erin Morse, 407-900-7451 for all your family and legal needs. Sorry. Where are we now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so this one comes in. Can you sue someone you currently live with? My girlfriend messed up my car and she won't pay for it. Doesn't sound like a family question. It sounds
not
like
a family law question, so I don't have an answer to this. I would go through your insurance and see if your insurance will figure out how to fix that.
Like,
that's really where I would take that.
You're gonna sue your girlfriend?
She won't be your girlfriend after that.
Exactly.
You're gonna sue your ex-girlfriend.
Because like we've heard of spouses who are going through the divorce process and they're still living together. It's not uncommon.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's not uncommon.
But like that right there, I don't know how you'd be able to cohabitate.
People think that like leaving the house is abandoning the house, like because you moved out during your separation. It's not.
No. Okay. We're going to take that one off right there. Thank you so much. Next one coming in is, in our MSA and final judgment, the court ordered my husband to pay my car note 2 years ago. He was remarried, but passed away 2 weeks ago. Does that debt now go to that home wrecker?
The
Damn, I have never heard such a petty question. But that's
Um,
a good one right there.
yeah, no, it doesn't. But you would file within the probate to get that paid.
So, so make a claim against his estate.
Mhm.
Damn.
You then become a claimant.
That's a great. You see, you did have an answer for that one. It's awesome. I gotta
Yeah.
keep that one up because that one was really good. I didn't expect for such a good answer on that one. All right, here we go. Will I still need to pay alimony to my ex if she just
You just asked me that.
oh Mag, I thought I deleted
Are
that.
you okay today?
I'm fine.
Did you get enough sleep?
Don't. I did. Do pension and Social Security incomes
Yeah.
count towards calculating spousal support?
Yes.
I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm not having a stroke on air.
Yes.
You're making toast?
Yeah. Burnt popcorn?
You know what? I worked at a firm that we weren't allowed to pop popcorn in the office.
Because it was smelly?
That in the event that it would burn, it would emanate through the entire office.
Oh.
So they were like, no more popcorn for anybody.
Can't have regular corn in this office.
I know. What is it with corn and attorneys?
I don't know. It's corn.
I wonder what's going to happen to that kid. Like once he hits,
Nothing. He's going to be forgotten.
Forgotten.
Thank you.
There's certain people who were memes before who are still like, dealing with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like who?
The Chocolate Rain dude. He's still doing things here and there. The girl who's in the car seat with the face.
Yeah, she ain't grown though.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not. She's like 10.
No, that meme's old.
I don't think so. I think she's like maybe a teenager. I don't think she's 18.
You see, now I kind of want to pull it up. I'm going to do that while you answer this question. How can I get custody of a teen I'm not related to that lives with me and their mom neglects them? Oh, they housing someone.
You should call DCF probably. That would be one of the ways. Not that I think it would be perfect, but then you could if you're a family member, you could file for custody by an extended family member.
Okay.
Call a lawyer. Forms are available online. You could try yourself. We see how that works often, but you could file for custody by an extended family member. That's possible. That's a thing. Not much more to it. Answer these quickly.
I found it. I found her.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
How old is she?
It's loading right now. What the girl, her name is Chloe. And what she looks like now, she was it's been 9 years. How long?
Oh.
No.
How old is she?
This is too, damn it.
Huh. Go ahead, say it on air. Let everyone know who was right. How old is she? 12.
She's freaking 10. God damn it. And for those who don't know who we're talking about the awkward car seat meme. And I'm about to put it on. Damn it, Erin. I want one day. I don't wish it, but I kind of do. I'm like, I want you to be wrong one day.
You do wish it, and that's okay. You can.
Yeah, Chloe's 10. Damn, it's insane how certain things just go freaking viral. I don't get it.
Yeah, but in time, it's their 15 minutes of fame.
Mm-hmm. Damn it, you're good on that. Shit.
If I know, I will speak on it. If I don't know, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. So if I feel confident about something.
Can I put my stepmother's name in my birth certificate and take out my biological mother from the birth certificate? So modifying a birth certificate.
Well, I think the way to do that is by adoption. Your stepmom would have to adopt you.
So once could that be put in the petition for adoption that like once completed, they can modify?
I mean, that's part of the court order on an adoption. You actually don't necessarily need to request it, but that's like the point.
Okay. Like, I don't like. I was going to say, like, do they reissue the birth certificate?
Yes.
Modified. It's a modified birth certificate.
Well, it's a birth certificate. It's just called a birth certificate.
So no asterisks, no like
I mean, it has an issue date.
Oh, okay. Boom. Taking this one off. Now, this one actually came from our friends from Real Laughs, and
So it's
I'd ask them, do you guys have a family law question? They're like, actually, we do. We totally do, because this has happened to a buddy of ours. What happens when we have 50-50 and she claims both kids in their taxes? So what happened is, yes, they have 50-50, but she's claimed both kids for the past 4 years and hasn't given anything to him.
What does your court order say about who claims the taxes?
Back and forth.
That it's alternating.
It's
Not
alternating.
each person gets a child.
Correct. It's alternating.
Then you would hold her in contempt and find out how much money you could have or should have had, and try to get that money back.
And your ex, and
then ask for 2 years in a row.
Ooh, okay.
Right. So ask for what you should have had. You'll have 3 years in a row, technically, right? Because that's how they would remedy that.
Well, that's a good remedy right there.
It's not that complicated, actually.
Not-
what do you do there? Gotcha. It's not the way that you asked me the question. They were like, actually, we do. And they're like, sit on this conundrum. I'm like, yeah, that one's I'd get that done in one hearing. Have a nice day.
So I, for Erin Reacts, I actually came to you earlier today, and I'm like, I'd found a pretty funny story, but then I'm like, wait a second, let me make sure. Do you want funny, or do you want like family related crazy?
I mean,
We
it's
are
a family
a
law
law firm.
podcast.
Yeah.
So, think this through.
So I was looking through, and then the one title was like really kicked me.
Right.
And let me put it up on screen, because I don't know this guy. I've never heard of this guy. Let me take this up, stop sharing, and bring it up. So the one divorce that we've been hearing a lot about is the whole Kim Kanye, and what's the other big one that's been going around? I know there's another celebrity divorce.
No, not one that we've discussed on air.
Yeah. I mean, we were on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing for quite a while, but like that's already,
Yeah, we didn't do a ton of that.
Yeah, it's poop on the bed. We're done with it.
Yeah.
So I saw this title. I'm like, holy crap. Goddamn ads. Scooter Braun to pay ex Yao?
Yeah, okay.
20 million, keeps private jet in divorce.
Who's Scooter Braun?
I have no clue. And I'm scrolling through here, and I was reading the story. And Braun, who represents musicians such as Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, will also keep 100 pieces of art from their collection, which includes works by Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, and all these. There's a lot of money here. He agrees to pay his ex-wife, Yal Cohen, 20 million as part of their divorce settlement. Court documents show Braun will also hold on to their private jet, as well as the new $65 million mansion he purchased amid their divorce, while FK Cancer founder will remain in their $30 million Brentwood, California estate. Now, the former couple have a prenuptial agreement in place, but the hefty payout to Cohen is to cover the split of property value and serves as a spousal support buyout.
That's pretty high dollar.
That's
when I hear the mansion, the $65 million mansion, and the jet, I see both of those things as likely liabilities more than assets.
Please.
Probably because you have loans on them. If you didn't buy them cash, they're liabilities.
Ooh, damn! And then also, I mean, if you get a jet, I mean, you got to keep the maintenance, the $100. Well, if it's private, then
you need a pilot.
You need a pilot.
You're a pilot.
You need the 1,000-hour inspections. You need all this other stuff. Yeah, no, I would not. No.
But the $20 million buyout of that sounds like that was a buyout of assets, and it was a sounds like that's what it said, a buyout of assets and alimony. That probably had a lot of value.
Have you seen, like, do divorce settlements tend to, and I'm trying to word this properly, if it's not having to do with time sharing, it's always about money. And
Right. I mean, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
the assets and liabilities that are also born of the marriage.
The division of assets is always like the big one right there. Like, who gets this, who gets that,
The
because
division of liabilities are equally as big, right? I don't want to be straddled with all this debt.
Mhm.
So yeah.
What's usually like the good remedy to those situations like that? Because like I know you've dealt with clients that
It's an Excel spreadsheet. We're balancing an Excel spreadsheet.
Mhm.
So for the positives, which are the assets, and the negatives, which are the liabilities. So a lot of times when I'm putting an Excel spreadsheet, I'll put in the asset section the house, and valued at 2 million, and then the mortgage, right, is separate. So whenever I put the house value at 2 million, I'll have somebody be like, well, yeah, mortgage. I'm like, yeah, that goes in the liability section. So pipe down. We're getting to it. So, we've had a lot of, and that becomes a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. I'd had a mediation recently where I was representing the party who made the household income, and they were really upset with the fact that at the end of this Excel spreadsheet, there was like a $19,000 payment due from my client to their spouse. And I was trying to explain to them that, hey, listen, this is not that bad considering. So considering that you quadruple their income.
Mhm.
So, there was a lot of playing a game of cups.
Playing a game of cups.
Playing a game of cups with that.
So that crazy, like freaking there's a jet involved, but like, I mean, those are always like the high profile divorces. Now, I do have a second story for you, Erin, because it involves this one place that I think you hold near and dear to your heart.
Oh, hell.
And if I could just get the ads to stop playing. Here we go. Florida Chick-fil-A employee stops man who allegedly tried to carjack woman with baby. So earlier this week, a Chick-fil-A employee goes all Batman and stops this dude. And it's all caught on tape. I'm trying to blow it up on big screen. Yeah, he takes down the alleged carjacker. And of course, everyone coming out once it's already had happened. But yeah, Chick-fil-A employee
Above and beyond.
Yeah.
The Lord's chicken, huh? Look at that. Saving the day. I want an update at some point on if this guy got arrested.
Oh, I'm sure he definitely did. I mean, you got evidence right there.
Why would you carjack somebody at a busy Chick-fil-A? Also, come on.
And she's holding the baby. She had the baby in her hands. That's wild. But good for him. Good for him. Extra Chick-fil-A sauce for that guy.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
You're stupid if you're gonna carjack somebody. How about not do it at a busy Chick-fil-A? Like, Chick-fil-A employees are passionate about their customers. You played yourself. That's what was stupid. And good. I'm glad. And how scary that must have been for that woman who had her baby.
Totally.
I don't know if the baby was like buckled up in the back seat and he's trying to carjack her. Like, that would be my nightmare.
Yeah.
That they're buckled in, they're secure. It isn't easy to get them little toads in and out of your car.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, someone putting in a child into a car seat is extremely vulnerable because boom, like, okay, yeah, I watch all the time when you're getting Lily out, and there is for a brief moment where that door is accessible to anybody.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah, I'm scary though.
You are.
Do you are we starting the series or are we announcing the series?
We're announcing the series.
You don't want to start? We could start.
We could start?
Yeah.
Okay.
The second half of the show.
Okay.
So we got about 15 minutes. So
let me put this up real quick.
Right. So I think what is probably a pretty good thing for people who are watching this is that we're going to start a series where we're going to just talk very briefly about a main point in divorce. I'm not sure how many episodes
This is gonna
of this series this will take, but we're going to see where our question and answers go. And if we get questions about what we talked about the previous week, I think that's something that we'll kind of begin the episode with and then move into the next topic. It's going to be like your class on divorce. So I wanted to start this series with, how a case is initiated.
Mhm.
So as you know, and I don't hide this, Florida Supreme Court has all of the forms that you need to get a divorce. In my opinion, they're not perfect, but they're intended to be for a quicker, easier process in the divorce, custody, everything that you need. So you can look there. They do have instructions and you can use them to get a divorce. Now, so the way a case begins is a petition and the accompanying documents, a UCCJEA if you have a child, a notice of social security number, a financial affidavit. We file a notice of appearance if we're representing you, and we file a notice of confidential information which accompanies the notice of social security number to ensure that that is private.
A lot of stuff gets filed.
A lot. There are sometimes a few more documents that we have filed initially, but ideally that's what should happen.
And I feel like that's the one thing that we need to express to the listeners, that there are no two similar cases. Every case is different. Every little thing.
You're special and unique.
You are. You really are.
Yes. So you start with a petition. And then you request a summons, and there is sometimes a standing order depending on your county. And
Whoa, Erin, you said a lot right there. What is a summons?
a summons, it's actually a proposed summons that we file, and the clerk sends it back to us, stamping it, saying basically you have a case number, you have a judge assignment, and you can now serve the other party. Once we receive that summons, it's kind of that notice that says you have 20 days to respond. So once personal service happens, which, usually is a person boots on the ground, serving the other party, it's exactly like you see in movies and TV shows where they're like, "Are you Joey McIntyre? You've been served."
Great name.
Are you from the New Kids on the Block? Once Joey McIntyre gets served, Joey McIntyre has 20 days to answer with either an answer or an answer and counter petition.
That would be funny if we create a divorce. Like I'm telling, like
we had a Batman and Lois Lane divorce. Remember?
We did, but
we handled their divorce.
Like what if we were to this is Charlie. This is Charlie Brown. And Lucy, what's Lucy's last name? Well, we are representing, Mr. Charlie Brown, and Lucy just got served.
Right.
So at this point,
why did I want to say Lucy Lane?
I was thinking Lucy Lawless for some odd reason. But like little like stick figures we could put up there, this is what happens, process server.
Don't tell them what we're going to do. This is our creative process.
Okay. Just throwing some ideas out there.
This isn't the brainstorming session.
I'm gonna go trim my beard now.
Yeah. So once they answer, from that same date of service, you have 45 days to engage in mandatory disclosure. So that has to happen. It is mandatory.
What does mandatory mean, Erin?
Not optional.
There you go.
And there's no secret trick to hiding your finances, certainly not in a divorce that's contested.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to engage in mandatory disclosure. Even though you're very special, the court wants you to disclose your finances. So even if things are non-marital, that doesn't mean you're not entitled to not disclose it. You just have to identify it as non-marital. So In most counties, the courts require that you attend mediation, either before any court action, like in Orange County, or before ultimately getting to trial. Like in many of our other surrounding counties, a judge will require that you attend and take a crack at mediation to try to settle your case before you can get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a very quick and dirty outline of what happens in a case and how it gets started.
Now there are times where I've heard in the initial consultation or the intake process, because I'll break it down as much as I can without giving legal advice to the prospect. We'll be going to mediation, this or that, and they'll say there's no point to go to mediation. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that.
Cool, you're ordered to go. So
Yeah.
The point is that you're ordered. I love when people say that. I'm like, the point is you're ordered to go. So that's the reason. So I have succeeded at requesting that the court waive the mediation requirement. I have filed a motion for that, but it had very unique circumstances.
I was just going to ask, like, what are the circumstances where mediation?
Of course,
can
you were
be
going to
waived?
ask. One party is incompetent. Right?
Oh,
So they can't really be making decisions.
okay.
The party was defaulted, so they're not engaging in the case.
Mm.
We already attended mediation, and maybe they court ordered us to mediation, but we attended mediation like 3 months ago, and I'm like, hey, I think you missed this part. That we just attended mediation, and that mediation was not successful. Can we avoid the costs and expense of going to mediation? But yeah, something like 80 to 85% of all cases settle outside of court,
Okay.
and mediation is a big contributor to that. So it does have a financial benefit to you to try to go to mediation.
I kind of want to ask like a history question in regards to mediation. Like, but
Okay.
has that always been like the process, or was it like entered or changed because?
So it was not always required,
Mhm.
but I really want to say in the ballpark of the last 20 years that it became more required by the courts. The courts required you. It was always, in my understanding, is that it was always an option, alternative dispute resolution. So that's arbitration, mediation, and there are a few other forms. Sometimes I do a settlement conference like we did on one of our cases. That resulted in full settlement. And it wasn't always ordered. And I remember one of the attorneys I worked for telling a story about how upset all of the local attorneys were when the court started mandating alternative dispute resolution before they, started to realize that it worked out and it was like a very good part of the case. So it's not optional in many of the cases in Florida.
Hell no, we won't go. Okay, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's kind of worked out. So, but I mean, there's county mediation. So a lot of, at least for family law, for sure, the county offers some services.
So I actually have I have a question when it comes to mediation now.
See, we're ahead of it.
Yeah. I know
We're going to have a mediation one.
In certain cases, when parties make over a certain amount of money, they get a longer financial affidavit that they have to fill out.
Yeah, there's a short form and a long form. We actually require that our clients do a long form financial affidavit, no matter what.
So why do some parties get denied going to county mediation and they're told to go to private mediation?
Over $100,000 gross income.
And that's just because
between both the parties. Because
they make that amount of money. And there's no other reason.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, that's what I thought.
That's all.
All right.
That's right there on the county website.
I can't believe you eat pickled popcorn.
It was just dill flavored. Pipe down.
I don't want to say I'm a picky eater, but nah.
Do you feel like you have ADD?
I think I do. Probably do.
We're talking about mediation and now you're on pickled popcorn.
Try slowly, I guess, like the progression of ending the show when we're towards that 5-minute mark.
Yeah, that wasn't a segue at all.
My bad.
Anyway, that is how you open a case. We will talk more about your finances in the next episode. That is the next topic that we will try to address. So if you have any questions specific to that, be sure to send us. If you have any questions specific to financial affidavits and mandatory disclosure, I want to answer those.
Do you feel that we should also like talk about like cases or similar, like whether it's celebrity or local, that like have gone through certain situations where
I'll decide later.
you'll decide later?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all up in the air. Sorry for brainstorming on live on the air. That's just my mind.
Pickle popcorn.
I really don't know why that came to my
I
head.
don't know either.
I really don't know. It's been a long day, Erin. It's been a long week. It's been a long month.
Well, it's been real,
It has.
folks.
What are what are your final thoughts? Because my final thoughts were apparently pickled popcorn, but we're past that part.
I don't think I have any. Typically what I do on Friday afternoons is look at what my next week looks like. So I got to go out to Polk County. So if you're in Polk County, let me know.
Polk County's always fun.
Yeah, sure is. I like the judge for that particular case a lot. Not that I dislike any of the Polk County judges.
Yeah.
But this one in particular, I like. She's very reasonable. She's a very good judge.
It's like you don't have a favorite kid, but you do. I'm kidding.
I mean, I have favorite judges.
Come on the podcast. Maybe you might be one of them.
And on that note,
Adios.